Bon voyage! Welcome ladies and gentlemen to yet another Incursio the Gamer Dungeons & Dragons quick build video. Today we have with us the Pequod Captain Ishmael, a very beautiful identity which I have just recently acquired, but do not have the resources to level up. Let's talk about her Limbus ID. She mirrors Captain Ahab, of course, from the main story. Spoilers ahead. Yeah, you're gonna have to fight her. But anyways, Season 3 ID of Ishmael, and is a very good unit. Glass cannon with high attack stats, low defense stats, really good speed though, I would personally say. She is a bleed and burn and poise ID. Also, she just heals sanity for her allies just cause she can. In addition to this, she applies, and get this, defense level up, protection, aggro, offense level up, damage up, and pride power up to her allies. In addition to having a 20% chance with her skill 2 of allies doing an assist attack on the same turn. Now, of course, 20% chance isn't a lot, but you guys have seen a 5% chance is a massive deal. And when it comes to matter the most, 5% chance always seems to be 100% chance you will always fail your coins. Now, that just proves to show that 20% chance is actually a lot. So, in the mirror dungeons, you're going to have fun. Let's talk about, the D&D build now. Captain Ishmael, female, variant human, ranger 3, paladin 3. You're going to have monster slayer and oath of the open sea, which is critical role. If you do not have this, take oath of conquest. Now, let's talk stats. Strength and wisdom will be your highest, as that comes with ranger and paladin, of course. Dexterity, con, intelligence, charisma for that role-playing idea, which comes with, of course, deception, persuasion, and performance. The beautiful stuff. And dexterity is next. Remember, she's a glass cannon. I put con as a low stat. Intelligence will be your dump stat, unfortunately. Saving throws, 7 and 5 for strength and dex, of course. Overall, pretty good. Pretty well-rounded. Walking speed 30, AC 16, initiative 5, immune to disease, and that comes from Paladin, and 40 hit points. Glass cannon. Now, she doesn't rely on allies, but she does heavily benefit from having allies. Remember, of course, Captain Ahab just kind of sacrifices her allies left and right. Captain Ishmael kind of requires allies similarly to Ahab to throw around left and right as she deals finishing blows, taking all the glory, as, mirroring in the actual story. Yeah, so anyways, 17, 9, and 17 for passive senses, respectively. Here are your proficiencies. Let's talk skills. Deception and perception and performance. Deception, performance, and persuasion, apologies, are going to be, your highlights because you have that charisma, as Ahab usually does. Insight, perception, sleight of hand, stealth, and survival, those come from a pirate, naturally. So here we have it. Those are pretty much the skills. Stealth, of course, that comes with the armor disadvantage, but it is what it is. Let's talk actions. Now, I gave her 2 weapons, Spear and Trident. Both of them are pretty much just harpoons, Trident being your melee weapon, Spears being your throwing harpoons. Of course, you can always throw a harpoon if you need to. Captain Ahab excels at sea, I will say. Now, you have some good damage, but you'll see later there's even more damage to do. You have dash, disengage, dodge, grapple, shove, all that, in addition to having your channel divinity. You have marine layer first of all, which is alright. It obscures you and your allies, lasts for 10 minutes, and is pretty nice. Divine sense, detecting good and evil. You can maybe ask the DM to detect a whale if you want, specifically a whale, as well as hunter's sense. You immediately learn something about a creature within 60 feet of you. For example, immunity, resistance, vulnerability. This is basically like True Strike. You can use it 4 times per long rest. It is an action. Lay on Hands pool, 15 of course. Primeval Awareness. As an action, you can expend 1 ranger spell slot to sense whether any aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, phase fiends, etc., are within 1 mile of you. And this is pretty much just to hunt the whale, naturally. Now, bonus actions, 2-weapon fighting, of course, expeditious retreat, all these spells, right? But you also have Fury of the Tides, which is what you're mostly here for. When you hit a creature with a weapon attack, you may push the creature 10 feet away from you. If pushed into an obstacle or another creature, they take 3 bludgeoning damage. This lasts for a minute. I quite like Fury of the Tides. Captain Ishmael is one to, use overwhelming force against her human-type enemies. Now, against the whale, of course, she does what she does. But I personally see Ahab to be, if to fight Ishmael, fuck, dude. Just slam her into the nearest wall. Doomed Yuri, am I right? Now, of course, Slayer's Prey. As a bonus action, designate 1 creature. You deal an extra 1d6 damage to it. Pretty wonderful stuff. Reaction, you only have opportunity attack. Others, you have Divine Smites, naturally. And Fighting Style, thrown weapon fighting. +2 to the damage roll if you hit them. I take this as, the spear throwing the harpoon. Yeah. Anyways, limited use. You've seen all of it. Let's move on to spells. You only have first level spell slots, unfortunately. But you have Create and Destroy Water, Detect Poison Disease, Expeditious Retreat, Heroism, Hunter's Mark, Protection from Good and Evil, and Zephyr Strike. Zephyr Strike is, that just kind of comes with. It is a bonus action dealing extra 1d8 force damage on a hit. Hunter's Mark, pretty much same thing with concentration. You deal 1d6 extra damage with a specific creature. Heroism, I figured that would be, with the allies. Sort of like, with Pip or something, right? Bringing him back to his senses, but also kind of hypnotizing him with this drunken state of, oh, don't worry, he isn't dead, we're going to meet him back at shore, right? Expeditious Retreat, Ahab is a coward. But we are here talking about Captain Ishmael, so I don't really know how Captain Ishmael acts in comparison to Ahab. Poison Disease, that is detecting, of course. Now, I understand Captain Ishmael did not fight against the Pallid Whale. I believe Captain Ishmael fought against All Withering Crimson Whale, right? And there's also, the All Piercing Marlin Whale, but that's the one the Indigo Elder fought. But those are the three whales we know of right now. Create and Destroy Water, that just kind of comes with. Yeah, you guys kind of get the point of these spells. You're only really going to use them for attacks or escaping, really. Inventory. You have 2 spears, which is 2 harpoons, of course, and you have your main harpoon weapon. Scale mail, a couple of, adventurers, like explorers stuff. Not really needed because your men can really carry all of it. That's kind of what they're there for. You're going to be the captain of a crew after all. Now, class features, you're going to want to take Ranger first. This way you get Perception, Survival, and Insight. You have a lot more choices, and you have 3 picks instead of just 2 from the normal class. Favorite enemy, Beasts. The whale is a beast. It can also be a monstrous kind of creature if you want. For example, say it's Monstrosity if you want. Language, you choose exactly what you want. Me personally, Undercommon, because that kind of criminal life that does come with being a pirate. Natural Explorer, you pick the coast, of course. Thrown Weapon Fighting was the one I found most interest in. Monster Slayer, of course, that's the one you're going to want. You gain Hunter's Sense, Primeval Awareness, Monster Slayer Magic. Good stuff. And Slayer's Prey, which is really nice. Let's talk about Paladin next. Divine Sense, Lay on Hands. You don't want to take Dueling because, you're pretty much only going to be wielding one weapon at a time. That is going to be your harpoon. In addition, you have Divine Smites, which are great. Divine Health. A Sacred Oath, you want to take Channel of the Open, Oath of the Open Sea, or Oath of Conquest, depending on which one you are available to. Marine Layer and Fury of the Tides are really nice. I really like Fury of the Tides. And that's personally just me. Species traits, you're going to be Variant Human. I took the Eldritch Adept. Why? This way, Beguiling Influence, because she's kind of, influencing all of her men, which is really nice. And also helping them gain sanity as a unit that you can use. I figure Persuasion Deception could maybe, in some roleplay sense, help out your allies. Performance for skills, Deep Speech. Who knows? Maybe this is perhaps as she is. Maybe Ahab specifically, apologies. But Ahab specifically, this is while they're politifying. But Ishmael, pick whatever language you want. It is completely up to you. Now, for feats, of course, Eldritch Adept, naturally, for Beguiling Influence, and Alert. Now, remember, Captain Ishmael has that really nice skill too with a 20% chance of assist attack. That's what I'm really here for initiative swap. Now, you can allow your allies to go first, or you go first, depending on what you want. Remember, Captain Ishmael is supposed to just hit hard and hit alone. Now, you can, of course, just go for it, deal an extra 2 damage with that Throwing of the Spirit, 1d6 plus 10, in addition to maybe, having Hunter's Sense on, finding out they are vulnerable to piercing, and Slayer Prey, doing a couple spells, maybe Hunter's Mark on concentration, that sort of thing, right? Or you can just let your allies go first, draw the aggro, then you start doing the damage afterwards, right? You also add to initiative with Alert. I really like Criminal like this, Background, all just dumped it into Dex, I'm going to be completely honest. Chaotic Evil, as, the captain is. Female with hazel eyes, medium size, 5'7", 130 maybe so pounds. I'd figure she's actually kind of stacked, like muscular wise. Ishmael is definitely really strong. I think she's around Heathcliff level strength, and that guy just beats people with a bat. So yeah, you take it as you will. You also have aged about 20 some odd. It's about late 20s to early 30s. Fair skin, orange hair. She's American. Am I right, guys? And she just wants to kill the Pallid Whale. Or in this case, she wants to kill the the Crimson Whale, right? All Withering Crimson Whale. But anyways, add whatever you want to notes and extras. I only build level 6, but I could build a level 20 Red Mist. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Goodbye and good night.